Is out. Goodbye. A bombshell dropped like right before the recording of this episode. Welcome in episode 15 of Blindside Sports. I'm Emmett Douglas with you guys. Follow me on Twitter at EmmettNosi04. Follow me on Instagram at EmmettNosi. Follow the show at Blindside Pod 11. Urban Meyer is out as the Jacksonville Jaguars head coach. And there's a funny story behind this. I was recording this. I was going to talk like all about this Urban Meyer situation, right? And right as I'm about to record, breaking news. Urban Meyer has been fired. So that happened. This is also super late reaction to week 14, things that made me go, from the week. And I want to touch on Steph Curry's shooting record too. Tomorrow, we'll be having Justin Cooper on the podcast. That's going to be fun. I'm super excited to have the Koopa Loop on. And then I'll be diving into week 15 after Koopa Loop leaves. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Urban Meyer, there's been a lot of drama surrounding this guy. And Jaguars, they're not a good football team. They're not a good team. And then they're not a good team. All right. And then all this drama comes out. Like it first starts out like Urban Meyer not flying back with his team, him staying back in Ohio. And he ends up he ends up hitting up the club, all right? And that's what we're gonna say. And then Saturday morning, all this tension comes out that Urban Meyer is not happy with the Jacksonville Jaguars and fights with coaches, fights with staff members and players, and even Marvin Jones, who's he's used to that. He's a seasoned veteran. He had Matt Patricia. Yeah, he had Matt Patricia. And he had a fight with Meyer, and I'm like, okay, this could be a fight. The way Meyer acted, I don't think he's gonna be fired immediately, but he should go after the end of the year. When you try and fight with your players and it gets toxic with the players, man, that's when it's just like, dude, you like, it's not good. It's not good, and you can't have like the toxic players, or you can't have a coach and like the players fighting. I just think that's horrible for the franchise. It's not gonna be any good. And when you're a head coach and the players don't like you, they don't respect you, they're not gonna listen, right? They are not gonna listen to what you have to say. So it's like, dude, Blindside Sports, Emmett Douglas with you. And moving on, Urban Meyer, then this bombshell dropped, and I think this is what secured it for the Jacksonville Jaguars. This bombshell drops that Urban Meyer tried to kick Josh Lambo, former kicker, who indeed was struggling. I'm not going to say that didn't happen. He was struggling. Meyer kicked him. And my thoughts on that are, look, man, that's a grown man. I feel like you shouldn't be kicking a grown man. Or else, like, I feel like you'd like expect though to like get like beat up or something. Like Meyer or not Meyer, Lambo should have defended. Like he should have defended himself. He's lucky he didn't. The way Urban Meyer talks to his coaches or to his players, I can't really get mad at that. But when you kick a player, a 5 out of 10, that's what Josh Lambo described it as, a 5 out of 10. There's all this turmoil going on in the locker room. You're not a good football team. Even apparently Trevor Lawrence came out and said, I just don't want this drama. When that happens, man, I think it's best for the franchise. You need to move on. You guys need to cut your ties, and you need to find the better option and do that. And it's simple. It's not that hard of an answer, right? Not shocked that Urban's fired, especially after that Josh Lambo thing. Like I said, if he never kicked Josh Lambo, no, okay. With him fired, that you definitely have to hold. I got to readjust this up on my laptop. Okay, when you fire a coach like that, then you think the accusations are true. You'd think, but when I first saw that he apparently kicked Lambo, I was like, hey, yo, what? Because I feel like if that did happen, teammates would have came out. Blindside Sports, Emmett Douglas with you. Twitter, EmmettNoC04. Blindside Pod 11. Instagram, EmmettNoC. Thoughts on week 14. Man, how about that Rams Cardinals game? Ram it all day, ram it all night. Just kidding. That was horrible. I'm just gonna quit the show now. I feel bad for that coming out of my mouth. But the Rams had a great performance against the Cardinals. And you have to be like super proud of the Rams for doing what they're doing. The Rams had a massive COVID outbreak at the time. They were without Ramsey, they were without Tyler Higbee and other players, among others. Their offense came out and balled out, right? Their defense balled out. And they overall deserved the game. Kyler Murray choked at a time where he could not choke, all right? And I honestly feel like with that game too, the Rams defense kind of owned him. Kyler Murray had some bad decisions. And it overall was like Murray threw 2 picks and 20 points isn't a lot, but against that Rams team too. And it seemed like Murray had some pressure. Murray was running the ball. And now too, it also has dropped that the Cardinals will be without DeAndre Hopkins for the rest of the year due to a sprained ankle or a sprained knee. Pardon me. So that's a thing. And the Rams just flat out were the way better team. Matthew Stafford shut up all the haters. The stat pad for guys. He shut all of them out. Had an absolute good game. That defense balled out. And now, honestly, I feel like too the lack of experience is like part of the issue with Kyler Murray. It was just like not the experience wasn't quite there. There's some plays where I had some mistakes that shouldn't have been made. But now at this point, if we're talking teams to beat in the NFC West, we'll get to teams to beat later in the NFC. I'd have to say, man, how about them Rams? Obviously, it's not the Seahawks. Cardinals, they're second close. Niners, I don't think so. It's the Rams beating the top team in the NFC West. Blindside Sports, Emmett Douglas with you. How about them Cleveland Browns? They need a rushing game. They almost lost to Tyler Huntley. Is that his name? I feel like that's wrong. Sorry. I feel like that's wrong. But Lamar got hurt. Like Lamar got hurt like first play of second quarter, got carted off. And Hundley came in. The Browns had a good first half, dominant team. And then the Browns almost blew a lead in the second half. And there was, in this week, there's like 2 onside kicks. Like the one in the Ravens, there might have been 3 now that I'm thinking about it. The one in the Ravens game, and then the one in Monday Night Football. There were 2 onside kicks. Holy crap. That is insane. That is something else. That's like rare grounds over there. 2 onside kicks. Okay. Let that sink in your head. Back on to what we were talking about. This Browns, Baker Mayfield hit 22 of 32, 190 yards is good, but he had a costly pick. He had 1 touchdown. And that Browns offense is a rushing touchdown. A rushing offense. I don't think people are saying Odell Beckham's the issue. Odell Beckham being gone. I'm not buying that. I actually believe it is. They're rushing, like it was like something like 80 yards, maybe. I feel like they need more than that. Like the Browns are running all cylinders when their rushing game is number 1, and that's just the truth. That's just like what it comes down to. Moving on to I want to dive into this now. Chase Claypool, Steelers receiver. Instead, his whole team is on Thursday Night Football against the Vikings last week. So almost a week from tomorrow. It's exactly a week from tomorrow. As I'm recording this, it's Wednesday night, December. It's Wednesday, December. So if they get the first down and this douche Claypool decides, I'm going to celebrate instead of running back to my team because everyone else is rushing to the huddle. Like, come on, man. You really got to do that. Like, I get celebrating, but first of all, it's a first down. You need the first down to win. It's like you just need the first down. Like, you need the touchdown. It's not just the first down, Claypool. What are you thinking? Overall, I think it's bad teammate or team spirit. And this is the same guy who was saying practice wasn't fun. Are you serious? The Steelers have 2 of these idiots on their team, Juju Smith-Schuster and Chase Claypool. I feel bad for the Steelers fans. I truly do feel bad for the Steelers fans, all right? And that's just true. Emmett Douglas on Blindside Sports. Justin Herbert can make a case for MVP. Let me explain why. Through 7 games, he's at least had 300 passing yards. Chargers at 8-5. 60 touchdowns through 2 seasons. Is Justin Herbert the league leader in passing yards? I know he's not. I'm just looking it up.
Here are the leaders in passing yards for the 2021 NFL season. Tom Brady of the Buccaneers has 4,134. Derek Carr of the Raiders has 3,926. Matthew Stafford of the Rams.
Okay, I'm not gonna look. But Herbert's like up there. He's doing good. He's doing solid for Chargers. They ended into an 8-5 record. He's had at least 7 games with 300 yards. All right. That's impressive. Now you could go Brady, but Brady, how many picks does Justin Herbert have?
Justin Herbert has 11 interceptions.
11 picks. But I believe Brady's is about how many picks does Tom Brady have this season?
Tom Brady has
10. So Herbert has 1 more pick. I actually think it's really close. I do think Brady's going to pull it out. But you could argue Herbert could win MVP with how much he's done for the Chargers. You could really argue that. I just want to say it too. Rest in peace, Demaryius Thomas. It was super cool to see what the Broncos. yeah, the Broncos did with the 10 guys on the field. It was super cool to see the Lions accept the penalty. Like overall good sportsmanship. Cool to see that is there. Steph Curry breaking the 3-point record. How about that? Steph Curry is the greatest shooter of all time. Steph Curry is definitely the greatest shooter of all time. Look what this guy's done. And he's done so much for the Warriors too. Like you have to like give the guy credit. He's done so much for him, scored so many points. Yes, I know he's had Klay Thompson and KD. Both out Curry, I really think the Warriors wouldn't have done what they have done. He's changed the game. I really do believe that. People argue that he hasn't. Shut up, you're lying. Curry has done a lot for this NBA. A lot more than you think, a lot more in general. And yeah, Curry with it's a game changer. If we have Steph Curry, I really think we wouldn't be at 3-point emphasized as we are today, man. I wholeheartedly believe that. And yeah, so that's it. Thank you, Steph Curry. Thank you. Other thoughts on week 14 are kind of the Cowboys are, they're going a little bit down, but they're still good. I don't think they're as good as they were earlier, and that's just the truth. Also, look, doing a little team to beat in the NFC right now. Man, it's honestly the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are balling this year. Tom Brady he has not looked like he's lost a single step. It's definitely the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's a team you want to beat, right? And I feel like the Rams, they could be a close second, not even a close, but a second, or the Packers. But the Packers get in the playoffs. Like I truly think like the Bucs have the better defense, and overall, the Bucs are your team to beat this year in the NFC. AFC, it does get a little more complicated. You could have the Bills, but then again, the Bills haven't really done that well in close games. They're still a good team. Josh Allen has had some crappy performances. Chiefs also have been inconsistent, and that's where I think it is on the Chiefs. I think the team you got to look for at this moment, though, is definitely the Chiefs. And I'm gonna talk about that since this podcast should be going up before Thursday Night Football. We're gonna get to that in a couple of minutes. We are gonna get to that in a couple of minutes. And my Colts bandwagon is continuing. I think they're going like 2 out of 4. Like they have a pretty easy schedule. They have New England this Saturday, which is tough. I believe they're the Jags, maybe the Texans, and someone else. Indianapolis Colts week 16. Oh, the Raiders. They're the Cardinals or Colts week 17.
Just to confirm, you'd like to call.
So it's Raiders, Texans, or Jags, Cardinals. So expect to win 2. I could see him upsetting maybe the Patriots, maybe even the Cardinals, and winning 3 out of 4, which would be cool to see. Make it to the playoffs. Cool to see Carson Wentz do that. And also, does Derek Carr deserve better? That's a question we got to ask. Derek Carr is actually like second in passing, which is crazy to me, but it's not success. Honestly, I feel like Derek Carr is fine. I feel like it's just kind of the same issue, O-line and defense. And at this point, I wouldn't be so if Aaron Rodgers like requested a trade to the Raiders, I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders bit at this point. Because the Raiders do have they have something going for them with Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow at receiver. And do they have? They might have a good pick this year. I'm not sure. But man, the collapse of the Raiders is something else. It got absolutely stepped on by Kansas City Chiefs 48-9. It was an absolute abomination of a game. Just like most of those early window games, weeks 14 were absolute crapshoots. They were garbage. The one game though that I was impressed with overall was it's like that Cowboys game and the Browns Ravens game were the best overall. Now, about that. About Browns Ravens, we're gonna go back to that. We're gonna jump on through. Hold on, I'm trying to fix my headphones. I haven't okay, they keep turning off. But the thing is, yes, Lamar, I feel like we're all glad it's not a high ankle sprain. But at this point, with the Ravens, a sprained ankle is definitely something to be worried about. So I'd look out for that because Lamar Jackson's a running quarterback. But we're in the NFL, 1 to 2 games at this point of the year. I don't think the Ravens have clinched. It's something you got to be a little, you have to consider at this point too. Is 1 to 2 games. We're week 14. We are 4 weeks away from the end of the year. We're in December. So one even minor injury to your quarterback can mess you up a little bit. Blindside Sports, Emmett Douglas with you. And also, I do believe the Titans are getting Derrick Henry back, which is really, it's interesting. And yeah, Cam Newton had another crapshoot performance. Seahawks, Texans. Man, Mike, I really do. Even I get it. I get it. It was the Texans. I know. All right. But I'm still gonna hold tight on my conspiracy theory about Russell Wilson, about him not being fully healthy in the 7 week thing, because that's what happened. That is what happened. I don't care what you say, and it's just what happened. All right. We also did see some glimpses of Justin Fields in that Sunday night game, which was really cool. And what a weird, we had a punt return. I believe it a fumble 6, just absolutely crazy stuff happening on Sunday night. And then we had the Bills Bucks, where the Bills they ran back from a 27-3 deficit, took it to overtime, and then Tom Brady did what Tom Brady does, threw it to Rashawn Perriman for a 94-yard game-winning touchdown. So their dreams have been ruined. No, but you can't blame them Bills for that loss. They literally came back. That was impressive. You came back against the Buccaneers, and Tom Brady did his Tom Brady magic. What else? Emmett Douglas with you on Blindside Sports. This is episode 15. Get me on Twitter, EmmettNoC04. Emmett Noc on the gram. Blindside Pod 11 is the show's @ on Twitter. Hope you're having a good day. Mine's going well. Like the YouTube video, share it, download the podcast, follow the podcast, turn on notifications of the podcast, like the podcast, subscribe to the podcast. Do whatever you do, because you will not be disappointed. We are here to teach you. We are here to entertain. We are here to make you laugh. We are here to make you ask questions. What is this 17-year-old idiot talking about, right? We are here for fun debates. Don't get it toxic, all right? I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say on week 14. And then we're going to hop on to Thursday Night Football. Niners bank another comeback. The Bengals brought it close, took it to OT. Man, what is this? And the Niners were Like there are just some throws where I'm like, come on, Jimmy G, really? I'm trying to think of other things here from week 14 before we move on. I think I covered everything in my notes. Um, uh, oh, those out tomorrow. The preview. So Chargers Chiefs. While I think about this Thursday night football, this is going to be a super good game. Look out for this one. Um, you got Patrick Mahomes against Justin Herbert, a good quarterback battle. You have two okay defenses. This isn't gonna, there's gonna be no defense in this. I feel like it's gonna be like a all offense. Just like Justin Herbert and Patty Mahomes are gonna have a big game. I believe the Chiefs are dogs in this one, or the Chiefs are favored in this one. And if I had to roll with them, I probably would. I'd take the Chiefs in this one to win. And this is gonna be a good game. You got Edwards-Helaire versus Eckler. They're gonna be tearing it up. You've got Keenan Allen versus Tyreek Hill. I got Cook versus Kelsey. Like offense versus offense, basically. I feel like Patrick Mahomes is gonna have a pretty solid game. That Bucks or that the Chargers defense is all right, not the best, not the worst. Same with the Chiefs. So if you're expecting a defensive battle at SoFi Stadium, then you're not getting it. Wouldn't be surprised if there was like a pick or two thrown by one of the quarterbacks, or maybe even both of the quarterbacks. Wouldn't be surprised if that happened. Wouldn't be surprised if like Jalen Guyton had another big game. Mike Williams had a big game. Like the Chargers are finding their weapons here. And yeah, that's my thoughts on the Thursday night game. Blindside Sports, Emmett Douglas with y'all. We are coming up on bowl season. Super excited for that. That means holiday break for me. Have one interview planned tomorrow. I'll be on vacation a little bit of it, but I'm still gonna try and pump out some content. We'll figure that one out. See, these solo podcasts are nice to do because it just gives I can just talk for like 30 minutes. It's fun. And just to check if you're watching, either comment down below on the YouTube video or tweet me at EmmettNoC04 your most underrated and most overrated holiday food. Underrated, I'm gonna give you my answer. The cookies, bro. They get love, but not enough love. Overrated, ooh. Like all the anything cranberry besides a couple things. Like when people like cranberry and literally everything, I just think that's overrated. And like I will defend that any day of the week. Also, obviously we dived into Urban Meyer getting fired. And also the Jags are playing. Actually, we're gonna talk about that tomorrow. We're talking about that tomorrow after I do the interview with Coop de Loop. Anything else I want to say? I think that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. We covered everything I wanted to for week 14 in not too long of time. So I mean, that's pretty cool. Maybe another story will drop on like another story will like fall to us. And we'll have something to talk to or something to talk about tomorrow. Maybe like another big headline will drop. And you have to wonder, who are the Jags going to hire as their head coach? Because with this college, if they take this college route again, man, that would be hilarious. I don't think they are. I feel like the Airbnb names that could get floated around, like names like that. They got some crazy rumors like Nick Saban leaving or some stupid stuff like that. Like I feel like that's could be like the two main things. And also another interesting thing too is we'll dive into this more before I get out of here, but there's Christmas Day football. So there goes the NBA's plans of ratings. And I'm starting to get to the point too for the NBA. You should just trademark Christmas. You should just yoink Christmas as your own. Blindside Sports, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoy that Thursday night football tomorrow because I know I am. It's going to be such a good game. This is going to go up Thursday before the game. I think or maybe late Wednesday night. Depends on my mood after this. Justin Cooper, his interview, and week 15 thoughts and previews will be up on Friday. If you guys enjoyed this episode, show it some love. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, like the show, subscribe to the YouTube at Blindside Sports on YouTube. Peace.